Today's thought piece is about teen pregnancy and teen parents in regards to this new age of social media and influencers. I found this relevant Reddit post to use as a branching off point, so let's just get into it. The post reads, "I hate teen parents online." Among the videos I've seen of someone saying that they had 3 kids before 20 is crazy. Also, it's so obvious that so many teen parents come onto the internet for validation because they know they'll get it. They know that idiots will tell them, it's okay, at least you're a good mom, at least you're able to provide for your kid. It doesn't matter how much money you have at 17 to take care of your kids. If you are immature, and clearly you are if you're bragging about getting pregnant in high school, then you are not going to be a good parent. It's not enough to throw money at your kid and call it a day. Also, this whole nonsense with don't judge people, don't shame them. Like, should we give a round of applause to someone for becoming a teen parent? Bad decisions deserve to be shamed, because if they are not, people would think that this sort of thing is okay. Also, where are their parents? And I found that last part to be very humorous because it's like, really, where are the parents in all of this? And overall, I find this post to be really funny and insightful as it shows the times in which we live now. Teen pregnancy, typically a negative thing with poor outcomes, is now seen as this glamorized thing where brave teen parents are beating the odds and becoming like the best parents ever. When in reality, aka outside of the highly edited and controlled social media, these not yet adult kids are having kids of their own and opening themselves up to harder life issues, such as balancing a hectic high-demand home life with work or school, trying to set up an adequate future for themselves, be it career advancement or higher education, with the limitations and disadvantages of having a kid, childcare costs, and just general time and physical restraints, and missing out on key years of growing into themselves as they have to give the majority of their focus onto someone else, aka their child or children's development. Even fully grown adults struggle with life issues such as postpartum depression, general identity crises that happen between life stages, financial issues and relationship issues such as high divorce rates, at least in the US. But somehow these teen parents, at least on social media, portray this "we made it" false persona when they have not actually made it at all. And one comment under this teen pregnancy post that perfectly sums this up reads, "They just want validation, and social media gives them that. It is scary because other young girls and women look at them and think it's real. So many young people think social media is real. It's all produced to only show 30 seconds of good times and a happy baby because no one will ever watch 20 hours of a screaming baby. No 45-year-old grandparent is going to make an Insta reel showing how much money they are spending to make sure their teenage daughter can afford a baby. And what is worse is that those who are honest about the struggles are seen as old moms who are tired only because they had babies in their 30s and it's their fault. And I find that to just be a very profound and true statement. And I also want to add on to that by saying no one will ever show the isolation that comes with being a teen parent and having different priorities and different issues from peers your own age because you have a baby. And no one will also show the fact that both teen parents are restricted in raising said child due to age constraints, such as not being able to drive yet themselves, or not even being in full control of their own medical issues and needing their own parents to sign off on things. And like the original post says, the topic of teen pregnancy is a tricky one, especially in the US, because there's always an underlying tone of you can't really say anything bad about anyone, no matter the circumstances. Otherwise, you run the risk of shaming someone or inadvertently insulting someone who is doing it right. Though how can anyone who chooses to have kids before they themselves are fully out of childhood and development can be doing anything right is beyond me. Remember people, the brain fully matures at around 25 years old. It is also somewhat funny when you see TikToks or Insta posts of "we beat the odds" and it's flipping through photos of teen parents to the present day and they're like in their early 20s in the present day. It's like, no, you really haven't beaten the odds. You have about 70 more years, give or take, of struggles, growing up, and life. When I was a teen, I was what society usually considers mature. I got good grades, I avoided trouble, and even held more responsibility than my other peers due to life circumstances. But the me today, well into my 20s, would completely laugh at how much growing I had yet to do. Much less enough to be in charge of another life or another few lives. Not just in terms of being independent, but also emotionally and perspective-wise. Kids having kids is just that. This is then seen when you suddenly get the posts from 30-somethings, 40-somethings, 50-somethings, just older individuals talking about healing from decades-long abusive or toxic relationships and the finally free from the baby daddy or mama drama posts. This is also seen when these teenagers go on to make even poorer decisions, such as going for the 4 kids under 4, having more kids in general when they themselves are still not out of teenagehood, and general poor parenting. You can clearly see this when the teen parent you thought was also mature goes on to have more kids later on in life, or at a more proper age, and raises that child differently and better than the first set of children. Less children playing house and more I'm the adult and that's going to take care of you type of vibe. It is also very telling that from a cultural and socio-economical standpoint, teen pregnancy and parenting differs in acceptance level. In certain groups, this is just not a thing that happens, and oftentimes teen parents, at least those who openly parade or are online, come from impoverished white, Hispanic, and black backgrounds. They often come from teen parents themselves, or have no real parental influences in their lives. Most get the majority of their child care finances and income from exploiting themselves, their pregnancy, and their children online. And without social media, they would most likely be struggling, homeless, or in a much worse situation due to having a baby so young. It's a lot to think and talk about, so please let me know your thoughts below on the issue. I just want to add as an end note that I realize that the above scenarios are not every teen parent or teen parent situation, but it does reflect most teen parents out there, at least on social media. Yes, I know some cultures actually have naturally built-in child brides and teen parents, but those situations are not exactly favorable and don't exactly lead to good outcomes. Things such as dying young and oftentimes lifelong abusive relationships are common in those types of situations. Also, I know there are other circumstances which I probably neglected to cover. However, we as a society and as an audience should focus more on stopping this disturbing trend of glorified teen parents, especially in the West, rather than cherry-picking exceptions to the rule. Let me know what you think about teen pregnancy down below, and let's keep a respectful environment in the comments. Also, please don't forget to like and share. Until next time.